In this video, it's our last day sailing through the British Virgin Islands as we set sail from Norman Island up to Tortola and Nanny Cay. We had a great time sailing this Lagoon 42, and we're going to give you a tour before we go as we say goodbye to our crew and the flotilla.
I turn the music up, I got my records on, I shut the world outside until the lights come on. Maybe the streets are alive, maybe the trees are gone. I feel my heart stop beating to my favorite song.
All right, all good things come to an end. So we're about to start moving here to get the boat back to the Navigar base. We got to fuel it up, got to pack up, and we're moving to another boat. We have another 8 days cruising around here, but the rest of the crew is going home. So how was your trip?
Oh, massive. Sad to see it end.
Yeah.
Good people, good times. It was good. I don't want to go home.
Well, in a few years you'll be on this thing full time. So
Yes, sir.
and that your plan. So you've got it in the Navigar program for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And another 4 years to go, and then you're gonna live on it full time.
We'll live on a time for a year. Go to the Caribbean, then up the East Coast, and then back down. We'll go across Bonita to Croatia, the winter trail. Cool.
How is the Navigar program worked out for you? It's the ownership program.
To be honest, I thought it was too good to be true. It actually hasn't. It's been super good.
So what's the basic? You put the down payment on it, and then basically you've earned income more than your note every month.
Yes. Yep. And they take care, for the guarantee program, they take care of maintenance, fees, everything. So there's no out of cost to me. I have to pay the mortgage a little bit more, and then the boats payment down as far.
Yeah. And then you get to use it 6 weeks a year.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
And then some off season.
Okay.
Yeah, at least 8 weeks.
And then you could use it any other base too that has the same boat.
Yeah, we've already done that a few times in Greece, Bahamas. So yeah, it's easy, just as simple as doing it.
Okay, so we're just up a link down in the description for you.
There had been very little wind overnight, so we just basically spun in circles on our mooring, which tangled up our line. We had to pull the mooring ball up to untangle it. Abby helped me clear the line, and we were ready to go. It was light winds and downwind sailing all the way to Tortola. Blue Heron had treated us well for the week. You probably heard me say it before, but if you're going to charter a boat for just 1 week, the British Virgin Islands is one of the best places in the world to do that. We made it back to the charter base with plenty of time to get fuel and disembark. Some of our crew had flights to catch. Our first stop was the fuel dock.
So we just finished wrapping up a week-long charter, or a sail on this boat here with the owner. So it's really nice people here. Met them at a few boat shows when they bought the boat. It's kind of a cool story. And so we were going to be using their boat for this flotilla and the BVI with Navigar Yachting, and just invited them to come along. And they're pretty happy with it. You can understand out more how the program works. There's a link in the description. Basically what they do is they put a down payment down, and then they get guaranteed income from Navigar Yachting every month that pays their mortgage on it. And then at the end of the 6 or 7 years, their mortgage has been paid down, and then they plan on refinancing at that point, and then they are going to go cruising on it full time. But in the meantime, they get to use this boat 6 weeks a year for absolutely free. This is a 2022 Lagoon 42 with Navigar Yachting here in the British Virgin Islands. we'll start with a tour of the boat. This is the bow. It's got a single trampoline that goes all the way across, and then the windlass and chain goes over that on this little, I don't even know what you call this. And then forward, it has a furling jib. It is a self-tacking jib, about a 90% jib, and it has a jib track back there so that when you're actually tacking, it tacks itself back and forth. The good side part about that is that it's easy to use and simple, and it's hard to kind of mess up. The bad side is you lose a lot of sail space, so it's not maybe as fast as it would be in certain conditions. Forward, you have 2 bow seats on each side. Then you have your forward V-berth, 4 peaks, and those are set up. They can be cabins, so they have little mattresses down there. Or you can store, like, that's where we store the fenders and things like that. A lot of people will like maybe store their trash or something in there. Coming aft there, you have on this side over here, you have your generator. I'm not sure how big it is. Don't know how many kilowatts, but it's able to power everything on the boat, all 5 air conditioners for the boat. And then on the other side is just a storage area and your water tank. That's about a 100-gallon water tank. And it does have a water maker in the back. So let's move back to the helm station here. So this is your helm station. It's got all B&G electronics, which is good. A lot of times they, the charter, because when you buy a boat with Navigar and you put it in their fleet, you can set it up however you want. It's your personal boat, so you can put the kind of equipment you want. I do like that the owners of this went ahead and put the nice B&G stuff, because when they get this boat in about another 4 years, this B&G will still be good product and reliable and all that, instead of putting in some of the cheaper stuff. So they'll still be able to use it, won't have to upgrade. You do have 2 winches here. You can do all your lines back from the cockpit, so you never have to go forward. You never have to go up on the mast or anything like that. You have a powered winch here for controlling your main halyard and your jib sheet, and then another just manual winch for your reefing lines over here on this side. Your traveler that goes back. And then it's kind of cool here. You got the little opening in the hatch here, in the canopy there, and then you can use these steps to go out and lay out on the sun pad. And the owners of this told me they are planning that when they get this boat, they're going to make that into a little seating area out there, put some like seats and stuff. So I think that's a pretty cool option for this. And then this nice big double seat. It's really comfortable for hanging out. You can see the whole boat. You can look forward, and then you can also be hanging out down here with the rest of the crew if you're underway, and in the cockpit area. So with that, let's take you down to the cockpit. This is the cockpit. Lots of seating here. It's pretty easy to get around this table on either side. I think this is a good sized table. Sometimes they put in just giant tables and it's hard to get around the side, but we've hung out here no problem. A little lounge pad on the back on this side, and then another lounge pad on the side. You can access the cockpit from either side on here. Oh, there's seating back here. We have this off because he's fueling right now and doesn't want to get everything messy. But then off the back, you have your davit system. This whole arm swings up and down. I think it's a really, that's kind of like most boats are doing these days, is having this kind of arm davit system, which works really well. And then your life raft off the back as well. You have 2 57 horsepower Yanmar engines that live in each of the transoms here, and more than enough to get this boat up to 8 knots at like 2,300 RPM per side. I like this boat has a lot of refrigeration. So it has 2 refrigeration doors. On the outside, it can be a freezer, both freezers, or 1 refrigerator, both refrigerators, whatever you need there. And then you can walk around the outside on either side, or you can walk up into the cockpit, or I'm sorry, into the helm station from the cockpit, and it's easy to get at. So with that, let's head inside. Inside the salon here, nice spacious salon, really comfortable seating and comfortable couches. You can get everybody around here. And again, the design of this table lets you access it pretty easy from every side, which I like. We'll start at the chart table. That's where all your electronics and your main controls are. You have your AC, your DC, your generator controls, all of that pretty functional there. Stereo, as well as the salon AC. After that, we come back into the galley proper. Lots of space here for hanging on to things. You can get around easy. It's a catamaran, so it doesn't have a gimbaled stove, but you don't really need one. We weren't in ever 2 rough seas, but we never had a problem with anything underway. Storage on either side. It does have a little oven down below, a deep sink here, and then plenty of counter space for doing the dishes and all that. Above that, you have storage as well. Coming across to the other side is one of the internal refrigerators. So this is just a, it's a bigger than a dorm size fridge. It's probably bigger than a dorm size, but it's like a half refrigerator. And counter space above that, more storage. And then over here on the other side, which we didn't use because we were only on the boat for a week and we didn't have a whole lot of groceries we needed. It does have a top loading refrigerator freezer as well. I like having plenty of refrigeration on a boat. Having basically 1, 2, 3, 4 refrigerators on this boat, you could go a long way. Plenty of windows all the way around, so you get a lot of light in here. You could also close the blinds and get some privacy if you wanted. And then the 2 ports facing forward gets a decent amount of airflow. I'd like to see maybe some other hatches in here for airflow, like on the roof and all that, but that's just an added expense. But this boat, I mean, we basically ran the generator the whole time and had the air conditioning going on, so it wasn't too bad. We didn't really need the extra ventilation. But if you're going to be living on it, you don't really want to run your generator every day, 24/7. That's going to get real expensive. So with that, let's head down into the cabins. I'm just going to show you the port side because the starboard side is basically exactly the same. So I'm just going to show you the port side, and then you can imagine the reverse on the other side. Coming into the forward cabin, this one is a little bit smaller, so there's 2 cabins, 2 heads on each side. This one's a little bit smaller because it's forward. It's not quite a queen size, but it's got a half step around, and then you have storage on either side, and then under the bed as well, and then you have a hanging locker on this side. Coming into it has its own private head. It is a wet head, so the handle for the sink actually raises, and that becomes your shower. So then the floor is always wet in there if somebody's been showering and you just want to stand in there. So there's just something to keep in mind. But on a 42-foot boat, you can't have 2 cabins, 2 heads, and then have 2 dry heads. It's just not enough space. So we can show you the aft cabin that does a little bit different. This definitely has a queen size bed, lots of natural light around. It does have a hatch that keeps things nice and cool in here. A hanging locker on each side here, plenty of storage space under the bed as well. And then it has its own private head here with, it's dry. So the shower and the toilet are all separate. So that you can walk in there to wash your hands or brush your teeth and have socks on, and you're not going to get wet because somebody just took a shower.
So that is the Lagoon 442 2022 model. What did you think of your week here on it?
I've enjoyed myself very much. I thought it was just a little more spacious than the 34 Sea Ray.
She doesn't want to go back to the Sea Ray now. All right, so
I also liked actually sailing.
Well, we did. Yeah, true. Well, the Sea Ray is not capable of sailing, but it's pretty cool boat here. We enjoyed, and I think for 6 people on a boat this size, it might be a little tight having 8 people on here. We only had 4, but I think we could easily have another 2 and make it 6 people, and then you have a spare cabin for like storing luggage and stuff like that. So that's what I would do. Do 6 people on a boat like this down here, and if you wanted to charter with Navigar, that's only going to be, oh man, maybe $3,000 or something like that per couple if you have 3 couples. And so yeah, $3,000 or $4,000, and it's better than a hotel here room for a week here. You get to go around. So there's links down below if you want any more information about that. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing, clicking the bell for notifications. All right, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Cheers. Cheers. Nice boat. Thanks for letting us use it.
Oh, you guys are
It's been a blast.
both. You guys are unreal.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it. You guys too. And very nice travel, buddy. I'm sure we'll have to do it again, so we'll see you, I don't know, we can Annapolis or before then.
Hopefully.
Thank you much. Sure. All right, guys. Thanks for having us. Cheers.
We say goodbye to our crew and the rest of the flotilla before heading out.
Thanks for coming out to the Sailing News Flotilla.
We are now taking reservations for our next flotilla in Croatia, July 13th through the 20th. Check the link in the description for more information. Would you like more content of us sailing around the British Virgin Islands? Click the link in the description for access to the feature-length, uncensored Sailing Doodles the movie. We spent another 8 days sailing around the British Virgin Islands on a Leopard 50 with more beautiful crew. It was a lot of fun, and you can only get access to the video by clicking the link in the description. For the same price as a movie purchase, you can help support the channel. I spent more than 40 hours editing this video, and it was a lot of fun to make. So check out Sailing Doodles the movie.